All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 28 of the Last One Fast One podcast. Before we introduce our guest tonight, Luke is in the military training, bald headed now, so he will not be joining me for the future. Meantime, it's just me, but that's all right because we got a great guest tonight, Kyle Ponsler. Is that right? How you say your last name?
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. He's from Indiana, former Indiana high school state champion. If you know anything about Indiana swimming, that's a big time accomplishment. And Olympic trials qualifier. Uh, and he's swimming at NC State right now. So thanks for joining us, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So talk to me a little bit about kind of how'd you find swimming? I did a little deep dive research on you, and I saw your dad played football at Purdue. Is that right?
Yeah, he was tight end
And
at Purdue.
wow. And your mom was a soccer player?
Yeah, she was a collegiate soccer player as well.
So how did you end up swimming?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I just started off basically with lessons like anyone else, and
Yeah.
I really wanted to be a diver when I first started swim lessons because I saw all the divers jumping off the diving board. I thought it was so cool, but then I got up there and didn't think it was so cool. So I decided to stick with swimming for that
Nice.
for that. Yeah.
What, were you pretty young or when
Oh
you
yeah,
first
I was
started?
I was like four.
Okay, nice. Did you try football or did you try soccer or did you try any other sports or
No, I didn't. Well, my parents didn't really let me play tackle football, but I played
yeah.
flag football. I didn't play soccer because my parents thought it was pretty boring, or my dad did, so he didn't
Right.
want me to do it. So I basically I played basketball a lot growing up, basically until I came to college. So that was really my other primary sport.
That's sweet. You kind of paved your own path.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So talk a little bit about kind of Indiana high school swimming because like is swimming a big thing in Indiana or they just happen to be really fast there?
No, it's huge.
Yeah.
Like I try and explain it to a lot of my teammates and they just like don't understand it because I think North Carolina is a little different. They do like divisions and like so there's like eight different state champions in every event and
Wow.
it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But I mean the way Indiana works is like any high school, there's one meet, there's one cut time. So it's a really, really fast meet.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think that the support from like our LSC is really good. There's a ton of really good swimmers in Indiana. We have like really good resources compared to a lot of LSCs. Like I couldn't name one high school that didn't have a 50-meter pool.
In
Um,
Indiana.
yeah,
You
like
guys got 50-meter pools in your high schools?
10 lane, 50-meter.
No
Like,
way.
all yeah, diving well. Like we have like all that stuff at my high school and the ones around. So yeah, I think Indiana swimming does a really good job of just promoting the sport, and it's huge there.
Dang. You guys ever do long course for high school meets or you guys stick with the short course?
No, it's just short course. I wish it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
long course sometimes, but high school season is all short course. We train it the full time except for like winter training. We'll switch it up a little bit.
For sure. So Indiana, you win state your senior year, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that one.
Well, it's a little interesting because like my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, or my freshman and sophomore year, I had Jake Mitchell, who basically would beat me by 25 every time we swam
Wow.
100. So,
So
you know,
the floor he swims at Florida now, right?
yeah,
Olympian 2021.
yeah,
Yeah.
like there's just so many good swimmers, and so to be able to win was just like a huge deal for me. I didn't go quite as fast as like I would like to, but I was just so like relieved that I like, okay, I finally won.
Got it done. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a huge deal. And I'm like really glad that it happened because it was a huge stress on me in my senior year.
Yeah, for sure. So I lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, so there's only one. There's only one class for all
Yeah.
of Indiana. There's no
Yeah.
like
Like 1A through 6A, all one meet.
cool. Cool. You know, in Nebraska, I'm from Nebraska, we do that, but that's only because we're so small. We're Nebraska. You know, if there was like a class B, it would be like it'd be horrible, it'd be
Yeah.
embarrassing for the state. But that's wild. So the whole state coming together, you win state. When did you kind of start looking at NC State? or when did they start looking at you?
I mean, June 15th of my junior year, when recruiting started, it was there were a lot of schools that reached out. Luckily, like me and my parents were a little prepared for it because they both, played college sports. Um, so we like kind of reached out beforehand to a lot of the schools that I was interested in. Didn't know if like any of them would reach back out because I just hadn't been through the recruiting process.
Yeah.
Um, but it was really exciting when you see all those schools reach out. But it was a really weird time because it was COVID. So like our class didn't get to take any visits or anything like that. So it was just kind of a weird process. But I'd say that they all started reaching out June 15th, for the most part.
Yeah. Where all did you take your visits to, or did you get to take visits with COVID?
Yeah, I mean, like I took unofficial visits to basically everywhere, since like flights were super cheap and like I wasn't doing anything, and my parents were just like, all right, well, we'll just like kind of fly out, see a few places out west, um out east, just kind of like look around at everywhere just to explore my options and see which schools I like best.
Yeah. What are a couple schools you did look at?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was kind of weird because I talked to a lot of schools until I committed. But I'd say really my top two were NC State and Texas, were two that I really liked.
Gotcha. What about Indiana? Did you think about it there at all, or you just want to get out of the state?
No, I didn't really. I wanted to kind of get out and venture elsewhere. So
For
yeah.
sure. So Texas and NC State. Yeah, sweet. Yeah. Talk a little bit about NC State. Like, what was like the deciding factor?
Right. I mean, from the very beginning, I want to win a team championship. I think
Hmm.
that was something that was really big to me. Not that I didn't look at schools that, I didn't think could win. But I think that that was really a deciding factor, along with the fact that, I came here on an unofficial visit and I felt like the team, guys and girls, were really interconnected. And they didn't really try and sell you something that wasn't true. You talk to a lot of coaches and a lot of teams, and it's more they're selling you this idea of what, oh, our team's perfect, like this, that, and the other. Whereas like I come here and I talk to some of the guys and they're like, yeah, like it's not perfect, but we work hard, we have a lot of fun. And they were being very genuine and not trying to sell me something that like wasn't there. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, that's cool. I think you're the fourth NC State swimmer I've had on the podcast. I had Malachek. He's a Nebraska guy. Justin Rest, Kennedy Noble, and now you. So NC
There
State
you
by
go.
far is been taking over, is leading the way.
It's a great place, man.
There we go. So let's kind of move back a little bit. I want to kind of talk about Olympic trials when you did it in 2021. So it would have been like what, your junior year, sophomore year?
Something like that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. It's crazy to me that at that time, tell me if this is right, you had qualified for Olympic trials, but you had not won state in Indiana.
Yep, that's true.
That is wild. I bet there's not too many states that you can say that you're a trials qualifier, but not yet a state champion.
Yeah, and there's probably quite a few of those people in Indiana. So
Yeah, that's nuts. I guess Ohio maybe would be another one like that. But yeah, so talk about you won wave one. I want to hear like how all this went down, and then you end up swimming wave two. So like tell about like how all that worked and what'd you think of Omaha?
Um, it was a little boring, I'm not gonna lie, but
Oh
there
man.
there's a no, there was a section that was really cool. It was like kind of a square
Yeah.
area and had like live music and this really good Italian place. I got their lasagna like every night. It was so good. Um, but yeah, I think just being in Omaha for 3 weeks straight basically
You're
was,
there 3 weeks.
I mean, yeah, wave one and wave two. So I was there a long time. But yeah, coming into wave one, I didn't really know what to expect. I was, young and
Yeah.
like just so oblivious to like what everything like I had been to Olympic trials in 16 to watch, but like it was a completely different experience as an athlete.
Yeah.
So wave one, my first swim, I was so nervous. It was prelims of the 4 a.m. and I think I went like 4:28 or something. I was
Hmm.
sweating over the cut, but because no one was at wave one really, and I think everyone was feeling the same way, I luckily got eighth. And
Nice.
I was was like, all right, for the night, I have to calm down and like just swim the way that I know how to and what got me here. And
Right.
really out of lane 8, I did that. And I think I just had like a level of confidence going into like, okay, like I know I'm just as good as these guys. I'm not nervous anymore. I can compete. And so that was really cool. And I like the way that Wave One worked for kind of like the athlete development
Yeah.
point of view from USA Swimming. Um, because you get these guys who like sell their soul to get one cut, right? And then normally there's one meet and they're never going to swim a second swim. Whereas at Wave One, like you can have that opportunity, see what it's like, get interviewed, pictures, like walkouts, all that.
Yeah.
And it's great for development because then next time they may be in a position to where they're swimming at night and they aren't gonna like that's not gonna be a first time thing.
Right.
So I think Wave One was huge for my development, and then Wave Two was kind of a like a celebration almost. I swam terrible, but
Right.
it was like just seeing guys make teams and stuff like that. That was really
Yeah.
cool. And like people I knew who like Jake Mitchell. We talked about him earlier, like him make a team. I thought that was really awesome. So just like seeing that was kind of my wave too, just like celebrate a little and just be glad that I could watch people make the Olympics.
For sure. So you ended up getting second, right, in wave one.
Yeah.
And then so if you like made the rules for swimming, would you keep a wave one and wave two? Or do you think, without COVID, it's just better just to have one?
Well, I've thought about it a lot actually, and I
Yeah.
think I think that what they should do is like make the summer junior cuts, make that wave one, but
Okay.
it's only for juniors, and
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that other people may think differently, and yeah, I don't know. I just think that it'd be really cool for those guys to be able to go to Lucas Oil. USA Swimming could get a test run, right? Like make sure everything's going well, but also have those people get the experience that it's like, okay, next time, like I know what's going to happen and stuff like that. So that would be my opinion is that they should make summer juniors into wave one of Olympic trials.
For sure. How pumped were you? Or were you pumped when we found out it's coming to Lucas Oil?
Oh, I was super pumped.
Yeah.
Just not even Lucas Oil, just that it was coming back to Indy.
Indianapolis. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And how close is you from Fisher?
Yeah, about 25 minutes or so.
Wow.
So,
So you
so pretty
stay at
close.
home. Stay at home,
Yeah,
right?
I probably will. I mean, I did for team trials, so I probably will.
That's crazy. That's nuts. Yeah, see, I'm from Nebraska, like 2 hours from Omaha. So I was like, dang, they're getting rid of it. Now I'm gonna have to drive more. Omaha's only got the World Series in the zoo now, man. It's getting slim pickings out there, but
Yeah, for sure.
so I want to kind of transition back to NC State here. Talk a little bit about kind of the season. I saw you went 3:42, 4 a.m. Absolutely insane, super fast. But I saw you didn't get to go to the NCAAs because you guys were capped, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that, and I also had mono, so I couldn't
Oh,
go.
you did. Dang.
Yeah, so my freshman year was really good. It was a lot different, because in high school it's one meet, right? I talked about high school state, whereas here it's every meet you have to go fast. You can't just like in my dual meets, I wouldn't like really go that hard in high school, just win and have fun. But here it's like, all right, you got to focus in for every meet. You have to swim fast every time, which was a huge like difference from high school. But it worked out really well. The training's a lot different. It's a lot more intense, but I like it a lot. And I thought overall my season was okay. It was pretty good. My 4 a.m. I really wanted to go under 40, and
Hmm.
42 is okay, but I still thought that I had a lot more in me. But there's always next season. And then on basically right after ACCs, I tested like for mono and I had it. So it was
Oh
terrible
no.
timing because like to get invited to NCs and not be able to go was just kind of a like, dang, that really sucks.
For
But,
sure.
the coaches were really supportive and, I still got gear. So I guess that was cool.
Nice.
Um, and just kind of rested for almost 2 months to, get back in the water and try and get it.
Yeah. Did you take a little break then after that?
Well, I mean, I had to for 6 weeks. So I was out for a
Oh
long time.
wow. So
Yeah.
you were feeling
I
pretty
mean, not
sick.
even. It was just like like they want to be precautious because we have, had people on our team who's also had it. And so they
Mm,
want me to take my time kind of getting back into it.
for sure. So it wasn't. So NC State had to leave one at home, but the decision was just kind of easy because you had mono, basically. Is that
Well,
why? Or
I mean, we ended up leaving two at home
oh
because
yeah,
we had, I mean, I was the 20th qualifier, but technically
wow,
I was already scratched out. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think that like we had 20 qualifiers and this year coming up, like, you know, obviously there's, potentially, someone gets sick or whatever, but I think that we could probably get close to the 28, like 30 range. I mean, if you just look at the roster, it's super
wow.
deep.
That's insane. I always feel bad reading the swim swam articles. It's like Texas or NC State, and then they say, NC State or Texas scratches one or two, and then blah 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 from wherever it gets filled in. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to like qualify for NCAAs.
Hmm.
Like, 80% of schools at Division I schools have zero qualifiers. So
Right. Yeah.
it's like, dang, to be at home. But I guess if you had mono, maybe took a little bit of the
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
yeah,
I guess it made it a little better knowing that like no matter what they had decided, I wasn't going. So,
right.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, pretty awesome to qualify, get under that cut line as a freshman. This is your freshman year, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's it like having a roster that deep where every single person is just like lighting it up and can qualify for NCAAs?
Right. I mean that's what we came here for, right? I mean, that there's going to be competition, and that's one of the things that I was recruited here to like be a part of is a team that's really fast all the way around. And you just know that if you have a bad day in practice, like you're gonna get beat by a lot of people, including some of the girls, honestly. Like
Right.
they're really fast. So yeah, it's great. I mean, we have super supportive training groups. I really like the relationship that I have with my coaches, and I think that it's really positive. And the people I train with, I mean, it's just a great place to train at.
For sure. Is that something that like that 342, did you have your eyes really getting set on qualifying as a freshman? Was that kind of a goal coming in, or did it shock you went that fast, or you want to go a little bit faster, you said, or
Yeah, I mean, my goal was to win ACCs.
okay.
I had a goal time. I wanted to be like 338. I think it would have put me third or fourth or something all time in 17, 18 because I was still 18 at ACCs.
Oh
So
wow. So you're
yeah,
a little
I'm pretty
young for
young.
your class.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was a little like kind of disappointing, I guess, but also like I don't know how much of that was because, I had probably already had mono and at that point because I tested like right after. Um I don't really know how much of that kind of contributed to it. But it was still a good swim. Like I have to be happy with it. It was the best time. And coming into the year, I was 347 high, and now I'm 342. So can never be upset with like a drop like that.
For sure. What was your high school team like? Was your high school team pretty? I know you said a lot of other teams around Indiana have some like Jake Mitchell, and so forth. Was your team? Did you have like a ton of people that were pretty fast, or like was it hard
No,
to find training partners that could match you in practice as a high schooler?
right. Like I wouldn't say we were like Carmel where we had like a group of like 20 people that are really good,
Right,
but
right.
we are good. I mean, our team got second at high school state my
Oh
junior
wow.
year. We got third my senior year, I think. But yeah, I know we have JoJo Ramey's on the national team.
Hmm.
I was on the national team. Luke Whitlock just made junior worlds in like 3 events. So I
Wow.
mean, we had a good group. A lot of winter junior type qualifiers.
Yeah, yeah,
So like really solid swimmers.
for sure, for sure.
That was kind of our team.
I gotcha. What was like this most recent experience at Phillips 66 for you?
It was good. I think coming into it, like I couldn't put any expectation on myself just because of I had been out for so long.
Right.
And that's kind of my whole thing. This long course is just like I just got back into things. I'm behind the eight ball, just like do my best. And if the times aren't there, they aren't there. But I know I'm still working hard. And I was decently happy with how I did because I really had no idea how it was going to go going into the meet.
Yeah.
So to come out with the best time in the two back, I was about a second off in the 4 a.m., but it was my fastest morning swim ever. I don't think that I can be upset with how I did, and to watch like my teammates qualify for worlds was really awesome, or to break school records or do stuff like that. It was just a lot of fun to be with the team and around and just watching how great everyone else was doing.
For sure. Do you get to swim with Ross Dant? Do you practice with, like, I see in your group, or like you guys practice much in the same group?
I mean, we do sometimes. He's more like the distance
Right, right,
type,
right,
whereas like I'm like 200, 400 type. I don't really touch the mile or anything like that. So
right.
we do sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think of him qualifying? And I don't know, I thought that was sick because I know he's been pretty close, and it's
Right.
just like finally kind of seemed like he broke through.
Yeah, no, I mean it was awesome for him and Will. I mean, he
For
was
sure.
50, he got third. Like there's nothing to like that is really good too. So yeah, I mean Ross was super super hyped when he came over to the bench, and it was cool just to see like him interact with Coach Dino and like because like how close he's been so many times, and to finally see
Right.
him, like break through was super cool.
For sure. And you got a big meet coming up this summer. You going to World University Games?
I am, yeah.
Sweet. So how do you get selected for World University Games?
I mean, beats me honestly. Like I know that they spent a lot of time kind of just recruiting different people and kind of gauging interest and asking if they would be interested, and that's just kind of how the process went. Is they asked like, "Hey, are you interested?" And I was like, "Yeah, like let's do this thing." And so yeah, I don't really know what the process entirely entailed, but I just know I'm going.
Yeah. So I'm not super familiar with what do they call it? WUGs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, like, are you guys all like, so the USA like brings like what, like 18 people or something from each?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how
Will you
many.
guys have like a
Kind of
training
fun.
camp beforehand? Like, will you guys like all fly together and then like practice together, kind of like they do for like a Worlds or Olympics, or how does that all work?
Yeah, I fly out to LA, I think the 22nd. And we're all meeting there. So that's like the training camp thing.
Gotcha.
So we'll meet there the 22nd at USC in their pool, and then train there till the 26th, fly to China and be there on the 27th or something like that.
Yeah.
And then opening ceremonies I think are like the 30th or 1st or something. I'd have to look, but
Yeah. Yeah.
shortly after. And then competition I know starts the 1st and goes through the 8th.
Wow. So that's like
Yeah,
quite a
then there's closing.
commitment.
Yeah, then there's closing ceremonies. And then
Wow.
we fly home. I think I'm back in Indy the 11th of August.
Wow. So it's like almost 3 weeks this whole process is to
Yeah,
go training. And what made you want to do it?
just international competition. I just want to race the best in the world, and I think that there's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of people there. I know that some countries aren't sending their A team, or they're some countries aren't even going, so it might be a little different. But there's still going to be great swimmers there.
Oh yeah. It'll be I saw some times from 2019. I was like, oh dang, this is not a meet to scoff at. This is some
Yeah, no, I
people
was
are
looking too.
fast.
Yeah, because I didn't know either. So looking at those times, I was like, all right, and now we gotta lock in. We gotta be serious.
Yeah. Have you ever done much international competition?
Yeah, because after trials, I went to the World Cup. I was in
Oh,
Berlin,
sweet.
Budapest with that team.
Have you been to China before?
No, I've not.
Are you guys gonna do anything fun out there?
Yes, but I know we're going to see like the giant panda sanctuary,
Okay,
or
that's sweet.
uh, but I don't know exactly like
Yeah,
what we're doing is.
for sure. Well, I just got some kind of rapid fire questions for you, unless you got anything else.
You got it.
All right, so if you could swim with anyone, dead or alive, who would you swim with? So, you can laps with Abe Lincoln, laps with Michael Phelps. It doesn't matter who you're going with.
Ooh, anyone ever. I'd probably say like It's Michael Jordan.
All right. So you big Bulls fan, basketball fan?
Not Bulls, but I'm a big basketball fan. I collect a lot of like signed jerseys and stuff like that. So
Gotcha. You
big
ever
in
made it out to a Hornets game?
No, I need to though. Like
Yeah.
I've really wanted to go to Charlotte, but it's a few hours away. And then, after Saturday morning practice, you're like, oh, do I really want to go like
Right.
to a Hornets game tonight? But
Yeah,
so
you'd really
well,
have to love basketball to drive 3 hours for the Hornets, man.
yeah, I know. I mean, it's cool to see LaMelo, but
That's true.
it's probably about
That's
it.
true. What are you eating at a swim meet? Favorite meat snack?
I don't snack at meats. I mean, my favorite like pre-meat meal though is steak.
Okay.
But I don't snack at meats.
Nothing.
No. I eat big meal before I go in, and then I'm normally set for the session.
Gotcha. Favorite pool?
IUPUI.
Yeah, I've seen you had some good swim. You're 418 there, right?
Yeah, that was last year.
And then you just back there, what, a couple weeks ago?
Yep.
Sweet. Let's see. It's been a while since I've done this. I don't have Luke to help me out. Let's see. Coolest person you swam with?
Ooh. Coolest person I've swam with.
It can just be like Sam Lane or
Probably Aaron
Imwarmable. Really?
Yeah.
When did you swim with him at?
We had a Indiana like select camp in Chula Vista, and he was one of the guests. So he swam with us for like a few days.
Sweet. That's a new one. We haven't heard that one yet. And what's one piece of advice you would give to anyone, to a viewer or a swimmer or something?
To anyone.
Or just it can be general life advice, swimming advice, whatever you think.
Say just trust the process, just trust your coaches, and you'll be all right.
Sweet. Well, that wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen. That is, let's see, episode 28 of the Last One Fast One podcast. Kyle Ponsler, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem.